The Imperial Palace is within our reach.
Therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs. A promising idea.
They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position.
We found one! They were attacked! Why? Why wouldn't they?
We came as trespassers, invaders. We can't leave them like this.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
What better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth?
Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing?
My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours.
I had no idea you had survived. We wish to help you.
So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald?
Shouldn't be long before we have a half-decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working in conditions like these. Yeah, and it's also, you know, like, pretty positive for us that there is, like, pristinely conditioned buildings standing around here that we can use to our purpose, because they're just abandoned or whatever. That for sure helps as well. In spite of the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little further and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia.
Hey, Kitty.
Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alize and I will meet you there. Ooh, secret Scion meeting. I always love those secret meetings. Are you cold? Are you telling me the Avatar of Destruction is cold? Because it sure looks like it. A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we've arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. It is the monstrous tower on the horizon, checked, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zod, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. So you're actually enjoying the cold. Okay. You will be pleased to know most of the tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. Wait, well, that's kinda logic, right? If they all got tempered at the same moment, then nobody would be ransacking, because everybody would just be, hive mind, I need to serve Garlemald. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Aye, although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Yeah, of course. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned the meeting? I will make my way there. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin. Alright. What's the battle plan? Charge straight ahead? Hopefully not.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I do kind of wonder if they're just... I mean, we know that Daniel wants us to come, right? Now the question is, what does he have in store for us? Does he just want to, like, abduct all of the signs, or at least part of them? Try to summon the 12? I don't know. Or just, you know, kill all of us in one fell swoop? Well, we're gonna see.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, They should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations.
Where's the
Of course,
poxies?
I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Well, how many have you got with you anyways?
Would you like a hand?
And why didn't you ask Alize before?
No,
You know
no,
she's
I am
our specialist.
Sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
So you're saying you're basically useless
This
around
talk
here.
of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern.
Well, not useless, but you know that she probably can't really focus on battle.
All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next.
So we need some ceruleum.
My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position.
Yeah, why would you ever think that they don't know where we are?
That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Yeah, or they just know where we are and don't want to attack us because they want us to come to them. Haha.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianje, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemold recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Everybody wants a part.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
Can he just still do all of the magics that he's been using when he was directly connected with the Crystal Tower? Because he's not anymore, right? Well, first of all, he's like, this body is a lot younger than the other one was. It's not linked to the Crystal Tower. So shouldn't he be like significantly weaker than he was before? But I guess vanishing isn't that hard.
That
Or, you
leaves
know,
us with guard duty.
having like 100 people float instantly.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors.
To be honest, I would be more comfortable if I just went to Fandaniel and Xenos alone. But that's probably not gonna happen. At least not now.
Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
Keen sense of direction. You mean the minimap I have and all of the markings I have on my map that I just follow whenever I need to go somewhere? Ah, so that's canon. Okay. Ice fields! I love ice fields. Oh wait, no I don't. Actually I do love ice fields. Why not? Well, maybe not ice fields. I do love snow. But not really ice, I guess. Especially if it's one of the, you know, the breaking kind. Or the one that is only like 5 centimeters thick and has a frozen lake beneath, I don't know. Yeah, if there's nothing else that needs doing, it's a little, I don't know. I thought we would be charging in head first.
Is a vital task, and I appreciate your willingness to see it done. Rest assured that a serving of hot soup will be waiting for you.
And now they have us stepping on the brakes again.
You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
I didn't expect to be such a cozy expedition, you know? Gods be good. If it's this cold with Tartarus claw thing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when we next meet. It makes me realize too that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole life in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. What ho, jumps! Been giving something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like rather a tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the Eblan Rime for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? It'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically my telescope. Come friends, I know just the spot to begin a search. That's actually pretty useful, to be honest. I'd probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. I'm surprised by how many wild beasts there are roaming about the place. Perhaps now that the soldiers have gone, they are free to wander and forage as they please. It's like in Chernobyl, right? Where there's like, the radiation is too much for humans to live in. But wildlife is thriving in Chernobyl. The newborn generations there have just basically higher resistance against radiation than any other of their family members that haven't been born in Chernobyl and stuff. And now since man doesn't step foot in Chernobyl, there's like a huge wildlife landscape going on with wild boars and everything. Basically the same principle. It doesn't need a lot of time for wildlife to adapt to a new situation. I spy with my little telescope. Oh my god, okay. Maybe it was a bad idea. Massive sheep thing? Or maybe it's a cow? Not what we're after, either way. Is that an ether current? Oh no, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over yon hill? What do I see over yon hillock? There's no mistaking. That's a girl. Really? Let's go get her then. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something. Though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. Yeah, of course. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress, a rather fetching one, all that, at that. Well, let's get her. She'll be long gone if by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. Because they're gonna be for sure the only footprints down there. Sure. I let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warm tinctures with you. You're pretty useful today. Wow. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. Unless you forget the very reason we are here is to protect those in need, and you can just go back to the campfire if you want to, so... yeah. Now go, and Godspeed. Well, I mean, he's giving us all. According to the label here, this place was used by those involved with extracting ceruleum. Oh, convenient. Exactly what we need to turn on the heaters, right? Getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? I cannot see any footprints though, at least not any except for the one of the chocobo of that guy over there. Honestly, I've never seen someone do this just to see even further. I mean, of course you do it when that you're not blinded by the sun, right? But in the shadow of night or whatever, maybe I see further when I do this. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys the surroundings. Were you to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. Yeah, sure, because shouting, of course, attracts wild beasts. Same as fire, right? Fire always attracts wild beasts. Exactly, yeah. It's the opposite. Usually wild beasts run away from shouting and stuff because they are more afraid of you than you are of them. It would be safe to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Okay. Why do I need to do so without drawing her attention? If the alternative would be to call out for her, we would also be drawing her attention, wouldn't we? So, whatever. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed. Make sure you make use of cover such as rocks to approach her without being seen. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Okay. There we go. Hey, Garlean Green. Phew, still in one piece. Hey! That's what's gonna happen. It's a little bit unfair because I look like with my scythe I look like death incarnate, right? Who are you? Stay back! This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I blow this place sky high. Okay. Please, we just want to talk. Do we look like Garleans to you? Like Telophoroi? I'm Alfino. This is my sister Alice and our good friend Yomi. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything for you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all of this. You did this to us. Wait, what did we do? We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy, our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry. I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? You're awfully lightly clothed for this time of winter. My name's Licinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, What's with the creepy music? Straight from a horror movie. I've been asking myself the same question ever since that night and the roar, the terrible roar. And then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like, oh come on, stop the horror music. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran past friends, people I'd known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Alone? Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was, but now me and a few others are, borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. Well, I thought so. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... Truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help, can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. You're pretty naive. You could just be making it up, right? But okay. If they have issues anyways. Grasping for straw, I guess. This is everyone. Licinia says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If it is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? Oh yes, yeah, true, they cannot use magic, right? We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under the gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, yes, do as you will. She's the one having the lightest cloth, and she's the only one not freezing to death, as it seems. It's kind of funny. What are you looking at? Ah, sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all the running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Sure. I just take my scythe and... Then they for sure feel better. I know they will. No, but Alfino can do his little hand wiggly thingy and then they feel better. Is there a... Cool. What they need most is a decent meal. We've food back at the camp, but there's a distance to cover. To consider. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be... Why are you lighting the fire outside? There's for sure got to be a fireplace inside, no? Now would be a good occasion to make use of Emanayan's tinctures. The ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? Sure. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with vengeance. Here, take this. Zip it. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. It's poison. We just came here to watch in glee as some sick refugees like you painfully die. That'll be kind of twisted. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? And though calling it that seems absurd after what's happening. It's nothing but ruins now. A few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the matchtakers that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Ingens is full of the stuff for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. We do not so as well, unfortunately. Well, maybe the ironworks guys, right? All is well, yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poisoned by any chance? Yes. It was a joke, a joke! If I laugh, it is that I may not weep, so said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. We are the blessed damned to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. So it's the same roaring, weeping, wailing sound as for the first final days, right? So we can be pretty sure, I guess, that also the first final days, the final days of Ancient, have been invoked by someone. Or something. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace. Each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for a final judgment. You're not a coward if you run away from something that scares you. Because fear is the one thing that's holds mankind and also other species alive over all of these millennia. The one thing fear is good for is for, you know, realizing, oh my god, this situation is dangerous, I have to run away to save myself. I mean, if you're running away from a fight that you clearly could win, then that's something else. But I mean, in here, what else would you want to do? What do you want? Here, sip this. A tincture? May as well drink it, I suppose. Well, if that's live radio, then who is actually broadcasting it? It's kind of strange, right? Because it had an antenna, I don't think it's probably not like a recording or something. It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. We have link pearls for that. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components, crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amoenus, it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music, being played over and over again. Okay, there we have our answer. Home beyond the horizon. An ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amoenus. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. This is a solemn reminder that, though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varys yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. He's dead. I can tell you so much. He's dead. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. Yeah, sure. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself that he may one day make his triumphant return. Sure. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varys would not be defeated so easily. You know he's a man like everyone else. Stab him at the right place, and he's gonna die. You should take one as well. What's that? It's a warming tincture. Probably coffee. So this is what you gave the others. Thank you, I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Sure. I'm an open book. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? Well, if Laterum is what's over there, then yes. I saw Legatus Vigilia's troops heading towards the Mania Glacies. I'll just call it Glacies. Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Glacies, why Glacies? It's derived from glacier, I would say, so it's Glacies. Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Yeah, we did. We kind of bet them to a pulp. Camp Broken Glass, you call it? And Virgilia and her men are all there now. Are they? So how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? No, we swooped in via airship. Airships? Then there might be a way to escape. Licinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? Yeah, so you were saving that tincture for someone else, I see. Why don't you show them to us? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby amnesty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. How stupid do you think we are? Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat the Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. Well, that's true. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there. People whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of it really reminds me on this war of mine. And also, of course, Frostpunk. Really reminds me of Frostpunk, to be honest. Oh, now I want to play Frostpunk. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all of those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We don't need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, it is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. You'd best watch out for baby amnesties while we're away. Why is she hiding someone? I mean, it might be like her husband or whatever, who is maybe a soldier or whatever. It's either that or they're just old, right? Because it was a frail boy, so they're either sick or really old, I would say. Ah yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoot them away. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Hey, Alfino, Alize, there's someone else in the building. Just so you know. Burly Tapper. Who goes there? How did you find us? Well, you just stood here and I came close and saw you. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? Yeah, exactly. Ugh. If the purebloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. The purebloods. So you've got some kind of two-class system going on here. Okay. Those stuck-up assholes thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Looks like the boot's under all your foot now the capital's gone to shite. Yeah, okay. I see. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If they think we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Not really yet. Well, okay. You started it, but don't cry afterwards. Stop, please consider me intimidated. Am I dead yet? Yeah, exactly, okay. There you are! Oh, it's Alice, okay. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you. Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. Looks different to me. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. I mean, of course, Alfino can stand his ground, but only if he's, you know, wary of his surroundings, which he usually isn't. Who are you? What happened to the gods? Well, they attacked us, and we attacked back. And now we're here. Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlean. Yeah, pretty much it. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hell would you pass up this chance to put these imperial bastards to the sword? Who are you then? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Girabania, Yangsha, Bosnia, Dalmasca, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of Arn, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlean, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is cerulean engines. Still sustaining us, even with the paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? With pumps? Ha! What do you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, if it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days, what with the city in ruins? We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later, and though it helps stave off the cold, it does sorta all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Yeah, you know, we are in need of ceruleum, you know? As it may happen, and we do have some food, as it may happen, and actually we do have airships that could, you know, be used as a supplyment line. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Well, you know, Girabania, Yangsha, Bosnia, Damaska, just to name a few. Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. Well then, Eorzea? We do have the ironworks and stuff, who could make use of ceruleum, I guess. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we know is gone for good. Gone for good? Regardless of what the Ilsebard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many that would be a cause for celebration, while for others their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum and saving Alfino. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? Yeah, we need some for heating Camp Broken Glass so that we can erect the base camp. What? Those purebloods up at Victor's Spoil sent you? Oh wait, yeah, well, those as well. To turn to their enemies for help? They must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Licinia's got a little sister to think about. Okay, it's a little sister. Okay, yeah, that was the other one. Either very old, their husband, or very young. Okay. But why didn't she... Why would she not show her? Doesn't make any sense. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them on our way. Send them our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Licinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why only hide the weakest one then? I mean, we're not hyenas or anything that just wait to separate the weakest one from the rest of the herd, right? And then go... This isn't right, it's too quiet. Yeah, I told you that, yeah. I would have thought Alfina would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Yeah, I've said they didn't send you to follow me because of your experience in transporting ceruleum. How can it still be? I mean, I know you're minors, right? You're 16, but still, aren't you like geniuses or something? Oh wait, they're actually also here. So it's either just Licinia that went rogue, or someone came and took them? Or did they actually attack it? They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us! We know what you're about. Oh, so they did attack him, okay. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Dude, do you think you'll get any weaker than you currently are? Do you see this scythe in my hand? I'll just come in and sever your head off. I would do that, yes. If I'd be like, oh, look, they probably have something I could need. Ugh. I'm not saying it's bad writing. I know that there's people like this, and probably in this situation. But still, why would they give you the warming tincture and stuff? You know, it's here to help. What rot! All a ploy to make us lower our guard, dude. Oh, let you in. Put ourselves at your mercy. Put us in chains. Steal our lands. Get your revenge. Can we just dispose of them, please? It's just... Why bother? Why bother? You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the argument for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. Yeah, surprise! Woo! But now there's no sign of either of them. Yeah, where did they go? I would have thought they would have been the ones to orchestrate the attack on Alphinaud. So where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. You do realize they're just gonna die out there, right? If we don't find them. Well, you probably don't, but... We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill, the empty bottles prove it, so the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easy to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere, how could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. Well, as I said, can we not just dispose of them? I really don't care anymore. You invade our homeland. Have you counted our numbers? Do you think like the 50 people we would be invading anything? Tainted with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. You do realize who's been doing the invasion, the invading thing for the last 50 years, right? Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. Free whom? We've not taken anyone prisoner. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and this. I will join you in the search after. You're sure? You're gonna be able to handle them? Well, he's already did, right? Okay. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. So I can see where they're coming from, right? But in the situation they are in right now, it's just idiotic to not be trusting us, or to not be at least... I mean, why would they attack Alphinaud? What does it do for them? The only thing that would trigger is probably that his friends, our friends, would come searching for him, and there would be even more of the vultures around them and trying to whatever they think we would be doing to them, right? So in their situation, it cannot get worse. They don't have anything to eat. They're running out of ceruleum. They don't have any medicine anymore. They have nothing. So it can't get any worse, except for us killing them, of course. If that's what they think would be worse. But, I mean, look at us. We could have just done that whenever we came in, right? So... 2 sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by size. This is definitely them, come on. Yeah, who else would there be around? Ooh, deduction skills. What's on, Watson? The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place, it's crawling with beasts. And I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphinaud's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Gets better and better. The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates it has been here for some time, and it's unlikely to have any connection to Licinia or her sister. Okay. Half-buried piece of paper. The wet paper half buried in the snow appears to be a flyer for a theater group, though the run of shows advertised has long since ended. Yeah, that's very helpful. Ooh, that's a... Yikes. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. Trail of blood leads southeastwards. That doesn't sound good. Yeah. Aiding. You think they're still alive? Because it sure don't seem so. 2 bodies are already cold, yeah. You shouldn't breathe like that in ice cold air.
Blood trail. We found one.
Yeah.
They were attacked.
Yep. They were.
No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Problem is, if we take them home right now, they're gonna think we killed them, right? It is kind of interesting though how they immediately realized that Alfino is probably the weakest one of us and just sent the other way, or the other two away, right? And try to attack him first.
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
What do you wanna do? You cannot bury them. Ground's probably frozen solid. Of course, ground's probably frozen solid, but no problem to dig two graves, two perfect graves, without any tools or whatever, but yeah.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there's something to the tale after all.
Also, don't forget that when there's wild beasts around, you really need to dig deep so that they don't dig them up again and, you know, have a go at their corpses.
I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right.
Sure.
You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders.
Yeah, but they also didn't have a single reason not to try to trust us, because everything else is just suicide anyways.
But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
There must have been something we could have done, but what? Since we have never come here, would they still be alive if we hadn't? Probably yes, but probably not for very long. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them, someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make a report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Why someone else than us? You think they would trust someone else more than us? I mean, maybe, I don't know. Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? Why do I have to do it? Alice and Alfino tell me they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. May I ask for your account? Yeah, we found some people, they didn't trust us, they attacked Alfino, some of them ran away, they died while running away. Oh, and we found some other non-Garlean slaves or whatever, who are mining ceruleum and they want to trade with us, so go there, now.
We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
That's actually true.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
Yeah, sure.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald.
Enlighten me. Like that fireplace does with your face.
The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war.
Sure.
Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Which was correct.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again,
How do you have such...
Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly.
Just want to say, how does she have such an insight, in how the events happened? But of course, they have it from the people they have been talking to. Yeah, sure.
Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the 3rd Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the 1st Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
And chaos ensues everywhere.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
No, that's interesting.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the 3rd Legion's coffers, but the 1st as well.
It would seem so. Though the Popularis determined that the 1st Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers.
Yeah, same as Licinia said.
When asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams.
Okay.
May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
The Tower of Babel, okay.
This sounds awfully familiar.
Glory be to Garlemald.
We have something to show you all.
Oh, you mean through the radio?
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
Might just be Asahi or Xenos. Kinda, I don't know, changing the voice.
We are of one mind, then.
It's probably not just a radio, but a...
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence.
Ah. Okay, so everybody who had a radio hasn't fallen under the influence.
A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
Always keep your radios with you, even in the times of, smartphones and stuff. I don't have a radio now.
My friends, I must speak with you.
For you always, Serena.
A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
Huh. Kinda interesting that Magni manages to restrain someone without spilling blood.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
Nope.
I am Lucia Junius, a temple knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Julius Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it.
Well, as easy as he gave up that information, I bet it wouldn't be the only thing we would get from him if we, were to tighten the screws a little.
Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
Okay.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Not Alfie, no! Come on.
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
Wait, but that's 4. And why the 2 of you? Shouldn't there be someone with an official rank? Someone like... Well, I mean, not Lucia, but... I don't know, one of the high-ranking soldiers.
May I ask why?
Why just all science? It doesn't make sense.
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face, how their futures and lives hang in the balance.
I mean, we don't even really represent any of the factions in Eorzea here, except for the science, which are, what, 10 people? Well, I mean, okay, including the ones that, you know, just hang around and stuff, maybe 20, 30.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
What would your mother say if I let you two go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
If you knew who you have there, you know.
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else, remember this. Pancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over you and keep you. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with the food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness. Yeah, that's what they wanted to do, right? As I said before, Thancred can be quite a worrier, but rest assured he only has your best interests at heart. Yeah, I do realize you're saying that is going to be close. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we're outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. As long as you don't take away our weapons. Or don't try to take away our weapons. Where do you think the headquarters are? I assume there are a few others beside him and his commander he mentioned. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Elise and he's Alfino. And last but not least, there's Yomi. Yomi? Where have I heard that before? Well, you know. Right? No matter. Alfino and Elise will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter run, towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. Alfino and Elise will blah 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 blah. Okay. Ready to make your way? Yeah, sure. So I'm not even allowed to draw my weapon to defend from wild beasts, am I? Really? Do you... Yeah, I think I have to talk to them, but I'm also not allowed to slay, you know, the polar bear that is sniffing their asses, right? Not the easiest surface to run on. So what? Did Tataru prepare some claws for us, but not shoes? Do we not have real winter boots with spikes and stuff? This is it, the first stop that is. How long did you run then? Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. You can be sure that Thancred is just around somewhere. Maybe even Graha with his vanishing spell. Are these your headquarters? Listen, Alfino, he said the first stop. Of course it isn't the headquarters. No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try again to convince Jullus that the temple can be saved. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Look at that thing. Looks like Ganon's castle. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. Well, to other cities known to us, at least. Though I wish there was another way. I thank you for keeping us from harm. You're welcome. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I'll keep mine. This way. This is Tertium. Tertium. One of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Okay. Sure. Not at all suspicious. Hi, Theodora. She clearly has no intention of speaking to you. Okay. I just keep on then. Hey, it's a subway station. Oh, it actually is a subway station. Nice. I had no idea they had such expansive structures built underground. It's plain to see why they chose this as the base of operations. They could have done a lot worse, even so I imagine it's not the easiest place to live, and especially not the easiest place to heat. Well, I mean, they could just heat the train wagons, I guess. Indeed, and if Jullus was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Richter's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep the people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. Well, I mean, if they would just be trying to heat the wagons, instead of having fires in the open like that, they do have to have some heating, some cerulean heating in the wagons, no? I mean, for sure they're not driving through the cold without any heating. Oh, they have a cerulean burner, whatever it is. Yeah, but I still don't know why they are wasting fuel for some open fires around and not just trying to heat the wagons. So you're a shop, I guess. But you're not gonna talk to me. Hey, see, look, I can mend my own gear right in front of you. See? Me better than you. Imposing commander. Do we know you? Not directly. I'm pretty sure.
These are their chosen representatives.
2 children and that gal.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you still need to salute, but okay.
I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the 1st Legion.
Yeah, I thought so.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable.
Yeah.
Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. It was only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned.
Well, you cannot really put us in the same pot as the ones that invaded Garlean, Ilzabard, like... When was it? Before the Empire was born? 50 years ago? Even more? That's not really the same people now, you know?
Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
But yeah, I mean, you must see that the Garleans were once suppressed people, right? That's the story of Garlemald, because they couldn't use any magic and they were weaker than everybody else. So, I mean, theirs is a story of being the underdogs, and now they are the ones that, you know, rightfully fight back against all of the others, and now they're losing again, so it's just like, your oppressors are back, the evil Eorzeans and whatnot.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
They might have more open ears to us if we wouldn't just be, yeah, we want to help you without anything on your part. Maybe it would just be like, yeah, we help you, but as an exchange, you want to, I don't know, have an insight into your technologies or whatever. Just you know, so that... I mean, you can also deny help just because you don't want to be helped, right? But if you give something in exchange, then you don't feel as much exploiting each other. You don't feel as weak as you might if you just need to accept help.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit.
Also that.
If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat.
Also that. I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, we're gonna help now, and in 10 years then we say, hey, you remember back then when we came to your aid? Well, now we heard that you have this wonderful cerulean resources of yours.
And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that.
I'm more on his side, to be honest. I mean, you said so yourself. Remember when they were looking for volunteers to go on this mission, and 9 of 10 turned each other down? Just because a tenth of the population of Eorzea and stuff would like to be, you know, leave all of the hostilities behind and just be friends with everyone. Doesn't mean the rest wants to do so, right? And even if our leaders, our pure-hearted leaders, currently might be just wanting to help, you never know what happens in the next 10 years. I mean, come on, Limsa Minsa, right? What I have done with the Sahagin, and then, I don't know, a few years later it's like, oh no, maybe we shouldn't have done that, we know we're better now, better people now. Who says that in 10 years we don't have another change of heart? Yeah, so I mean, from a personal point of view, I would say, of course, sure, help me, why not? But he doesn't have the luxury to think in his personal, egoistical senses, right? He has to think about everybody else that is there, and if he now gives in to Eorzea, he might be the one who in turn, like, sold off, so to say, the whole country to foreign powers, right?
What I'm trying to say
It's quite a predicament.
There are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
See, that's the point. It's just like it's just too good to be true. Why would anyone trust something like this?
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it?
Why didn't you think of something you wanted from the Galleans instead of just... That's just why I don't like shonen characters. And these two, especially Alphino, are clearly shonen characters, and I just can't stand them. They're just too good to be true. Well, not too good, but they're just too righteous, too, I don't know, too unsullied. I don't know what you want to call it.
Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Yeah, of course we could. But only the future can tell if it was the right decision for him to make or not.
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald?
And that, of course. Well, I mean...
Is it because we do not share your faith?
Well, it is a little different, right? I mean, yes, Garlemald, I mean, that's what Gaius was always talking about, right? They don't want to kill or invade Eorzea. Well, they do want to invade Eorzea, but they don't want to... Well, they probably would be suppressing us, yeah. Yeah, so no, it is quite different, mister. I mean, you were attacking a completely working, healthy state, while our invasion is into a, you know, into a country that doesn't really exist anymore. It really isn't the same.
That we do not share your heritage?
Oops.
That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope.
Yeah.
It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter.
Alright, they're gonna escort us out. That's awfully nice of them.
You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you.
Well, that's not the nice way to treat an embassy. Why are you raising your hands?
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
No. There is one condition: I don't slay you all right now, and that is don't collar me. I don't care about those two, but don't collar me.
What are these?
Okay, it's only the two of them.
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop.
Don't you dare touch me. I'm gonna break your ankles.
The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
If you think that's gonna work. I'm not as shonen as you two are. I mean, I know it's gonna work out. I'm not worried about that. But you know, if push came to shove, I would, and if I had to, you know, run away for some reason, then I would just do it, no matter what happened to those two. I mean, they knew fully well what might happen and what they're getting themselves into when they volunteered for this mission, right?
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
Only coldest, blackest of nights. I don't remember the rest. Warmth and fire and share, something like that.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
Oh, I can be the
You will be their warden.
senseless barbarian, don't worry. He's like, what, me? I have seen that one fight.